Myself Rekha Chauhan, nursing tutor, Index Nursing College, Indore. Today discuss topic labor. Introduction. Labor is characterized by the presence of regular uterine contraction with effacement and dilatation of the cervix and fetal distant parturient is a patient in labor, and parturition is the process of giving birth. Delivery is the expulsion or extraction of available fetal out of the womb. It is not synonymous with labor. Delivery can take place without labor, yes, in elective cesarean section. Delivery may be vaginal, either spontaneous or aided, or it might be abnormal. Definition. Series of events that take place in the genital organs in a effort to explain the viable product of conception, fetus, placenta, and the membranes out of the womb through the vaginal into the outer world is called labor. It may occur prior to 37 completed weeks. When it is called the preterm labor, expulsion of a previable leave fetus occur through the same process, but in a miniature form is and is called mini labor. Criteria of normal labor. Labor is called normal if it fulfills of the following criteria: spontaneous in onset and a term, with vertex present presentation, without undue prolongation, no natural termination with minimal aids, without having any complication affecting the health of the mother and or the baby. Causes of onset of labor. The precise mechanism of initiation of human labor is still occurs endocrine, biochemical and mechanical stage pathways, yes, obtained from animal experiment. However, but forth the following hypothesis: uterine distension, stretching effect on the myometrium by the growing fetus, and liquor amni can explain the onset of labor, at least in twins or polygohydrominous. What is false labor? False pain. Synonym: false labor. Spurious labor it is found more in primigravida than is parious women. It usually appears prior to the onset of true labor pain by 1 or 2 hours weeks in the primary gravida and by a few days in the multipara. Such pain are probably due to stretching of the cervix and lower uterine segment. False labor pain is dull in nature, confident to lower abdomen and groin, not associated with hardening of the uterus. They have no other features of true labor pain, usually relieved by enema or sedative. Lightning. A few weeks prior to the onset of labor, especially in the primary gravida, the presenting part sinks into the true pelvis. It is due to active pulling up of the lower pole of the uterus around the presenting part. It signifies incompression of the lower uterine segment into the wall of the uterus. This diminishes the fundal height and hence minimize the uh, pressure on the diaphragm. The mother experiences a sense of relief from the mechanical cardiorespiratory embarrassment. There might be frequency of micturition of constipation due to mechanical fracture. Pressure by the engaged presenting part is a welcome sign. Yes, it rules out cephalopelvic disproportion and other conditions preventing the head from entering the pelvis inlet. True labor pain. True labor pain is characterized by painful uterine contraction at regular intervals. Frequency of contraction increase gradually. Intensity and duration of contraction increase progressively, associated with so progressive effacement and dilatation of the cervix, descent of the presenting part, formation of the bag of foravators and not relieved by enema or sedative. Labor pain. Throughout pregnancy, painless Brachyton Hicks contraction with simultaneous hardening of the uterus occur. These contraction changes their characteristic become more powerful, intermittent, and are associated with pain. Pain more after felt in front of the abdomen or radiating toward the things. So with the onset of labor, there is profuse cervical secretion simultaneously. There is slight oozing of blood from rupture of capillary vessels of the cervix and from the raw decidual surface caused by compression of the membranes due to stretching of the lower uterine segment, expulsion of cervical mucus, plug shed with blood is salad show, dilatation of internal os with the onset of labor pain. The cervical canal begin to dilated more in the upper part than in the lower. The former begin accompanied by corresponding stretching of the lower uterine segment. Cervical effacement and dilatation. Uterus, cervix, vagina. Not effacement, not dilatation. Fully effacement 1 centimeter dilatation. Fully effacement, fully dilatation 2 centimeter. Formation of bag of waters due to stretching of the lower uterine segment. The membranes are detached easily because of its loose attachment to the poorly performed decidua. With the dilatation of the cervical canal, the lower pole of the fetus membranes becomes unsupported and tends to bulge into the cervical canal. Yes, it contains liquor which has passed below the presenting part. It is solid bag of waters during uterine contraction with consequent rise of intra-amniotic pressure. This bag becomes tense and convex after the contraction. Pass of the bulging may disappear completely. This is almost a certain sign of onset of labor. Bag of membranes, amniocorion, cervix, forabag, decidua, trunk, mentis. Stage of labor. Conventionally, events of labor are divided into three stages. First stage, it start from the onset of true labor pain and end with the full dilatation of the cervix. It is, in other words, the cervical stage of labor. Its average duration is 12 hours in primigravida and 6 hours in multipara. Second stage is start from the full dilatation of the cervix, not from the rupture of the membranes, and end with expulsion of the fetus from the birth canal. It has got two phases. The propulsive phase start from full dilatation up to the descent of the presenting part to the pelvis floor. The expulsive phase is distinguished by maternal bearing down effort and end with delivery of the baby. Its average duration in 2 hours in prime gravida and 30 minutes in multipara. Stage first, the cervix relaxation causing it the dilated and then out. Uterus cervix. Stage second, uterine contraction increase in strength and the infant delayed. Placenta umbilical cord. Stage 3, the placenta is expelled. Placenta detaching from uterus umbilical cord. Physiology of normal labor. During pregnancy, there is marked hypertrophy and hyperplasia of the uterine muscles and the enlargement of the uterus. A term, the length of the uterus measure about 35 centimeter including cervix. The fundus is whether both transversely and anteroposterior. Then the lower segment, the uterus assumes piriform of ovoid shape. Uterine contraction in labor. Throughout pregnancy, there is irregular involuntary spasmodic uterine contraction with are painless Braxton Hicks and have no effect on dilatation of the cervix. The character rate of the contraction changes with the onset of labor. While there are wide variation in the frequency, intensity, and dilatation of contraction, they remain usually within normal limits in the following patterns. Event in first stage of labor. The first stage is chiefly concerned with the preparation of the birth canal so as to facilitate expulsion of the fetus. In the second stage, the main event that occur in first stage are dilatation and effacement of the cervix and full formation of lower uterine segment. Before labor, 0% effacement, yearly effacement 30%, completed effacement 100%, completed dilatation. Formation of upper and lower uterine segment. The upper uterine segment, having been formed from the body of the fundus, is mainly concerned with contraction and retraction. It is thick and muscular. The lower uterine segment is formed of the isthmus and the cervix and is about 8 to 10 centimeter in length. The lower segment is prepared for distension and dilatation. The muscles content reduce from the fundus to the cervix where is thinner. cervical effacement, mucus plug, cervix, vaginal effacement, not effacement. Effacement or taking up of cervix. Effacement is the process by which the muscular fibers of the cervix are pulled upward and merges with the fibers of the lower uterine segment. The cervix becomes thinned during first stage of labor or even before that in primigravida and primigravida effacement precedes dilatation of the cervix, whereas in multipara both occur simultaneously. Expulsion of mucus plug in causes by effacement event in second stage of labor. The second stage beginning with the complete dilatation of the cervix and end with the expulsion of the fetus. This stage is concerned with the descent and delivery of the fetus through the birth canal. Second stage has two phases: propulsive from full dilatation until head touches the pelvis floor. Explosive since the time mother has irresistible desire the bear down and push until the baby is delivered. With the full dilatation of the cervix, the membranes usually rupture and there is shape of a good amount of liquor emanating. The volume of the uterine cavity is thereby reduced. Simultaneously, uterine contraction and retraction become stronger. Delivery of the fetus is accomplished by the downward thrust offered by uterine contraction, supplemented by the voluntary contraction of abnormal muscles against the resistance offered by bony and soft tissue of the birth canal. There is always a tendency to push the fetus back into the uterine cavity by the elastic recoil of the tissue of the vaginal and the pelvic floor. Event in third stage of labor. The third stage of labor comprises the phase of placental separation. It descends to the lower segment and finally its explosion with the membranes. Placental separation at the beginning of labor. The placental attachment wrongly correspond to an area of 20 centimeter in dilatation. There is no appreciable diminution of the surface area of the placental attachment during first stage. During the second stage, there is a slight but progressive diminution of the area following successive retraction with attains its peak immediately following the birth of the baby. The cavity is much reduced to accommodate only the after-birth me- mechanism of separation. Market retraction reduces effectively the surface area at the placental site to about it half, but yes, the placenta is inelastic. It cannot keep pace with such an extent of diminution, resulting in it buckling. A shearing force is instituted between the placenta and the placental site, which brings about its ultimate separation. The plane of separation runs through deep spongy layer of decidua basalis so that a variable thickness of decidual covers the maternal surface of the separated placenta. There are two ways of separation of placenta. Sign of third stage of labor. Goes of blood, cord lengthening, globulus plus fem uterus, uterus recess anteriorly, sold open within 30 minutes of delivery of infant. Placenta. Mechanism of control of bleeding after placenta. Separation innumerable torn sinuses which have free circulation of blood from uterine and ovarian vessels have to be obliterated. The occlusion is effected by complete retraction, whereby the enteriolus is the pass tortuously through the interlacing intermediate layer of the myometrium are literally clamped. It living ligature is the principal mechanism of hemostasis. However, thrombosis occurs to occlude the turn sinuses, a phenomenon which is facilitated by hypercoagulable state of pregnancy. Management of normal labor. Generation consideration labor. Event have got great psychological, emotional, and social impact to the woman and her family. She experiences stress, physical pain, and fear of dangers. The caregiver should be tactful, sensitive, and respectful to her continuous emotional support during labor may reduce the need for analgesic and decrease the rate of operative delivery. Privacy must be maintained. She is explained about the event from time to time. Comfortable environment, skill, and confidence of the caregiver and appropriate support are all essential so that women can give birth with dignity. Management of normal labor aims at maximal observation with minimal active intervention. The idea is to maintain the normalcy and to detect any deviation from the normal at the earliest possible moment. Antiseptics and septic surgical cleanliness and sepsis on the part of the patient and the attendants involved in the delivery process are to be maintained. Patient care, shaving or hair clipping of the vulva is done. The vulva and the perineum are washed liberally with soap and water and then with 10% Dettol solution or Hibitens chlorhexidine. The woman should take a shower or bath, wear laundered gown and see mobile through got labor. She is given continued encouragement and emotional support. Antiseptic and aseptic precautions are to the taken during vaginal examination and during conduction of delivery. Vaginal examination in labor. First vaginal examination should be done by a senior doctor to be more reliable and informative. The examination is done with the patient lying in the dorsal position. Preliminaries: toileting hands and forearms should be washed with soap and running water. The procedure should take at least 3 minutes. Sterilize pair of gloves in donated vulva toileting is performed. Vulva should once more be swabbed from before backward with antiseptic lotion like 10% Dettol. Gloved middle and index fingers of the right hand smeared liberally with antiseptic cream like catavolone are introduced into the vaginal after separating the labia by two fingers of the left hand. Completed examination should be done before fingers are withdrawal. Vaginal examination should be kept as minimum as possible to avoid risk of infection. The following information are to be noted and recorded carefully. Partograph. Degree of cervical dilatation in centimeters. It is marked with a cross on the partograph at 4 centimeter dilatation. Degree of effacement of cervix. Status of membranes and if ruptured. Color of the liquor in the photograph is recorded as first. Color of the liquor is in the photograph is recorded as first. Membranes intake are membranes ruptured. C. Liquid clear. M. Liquor mechanism. Stand. B. Liquor blood stand presenting part and it position by nothing. The fontanelles and sagittal suture in relation to the quadrant of the pelvis. Lambda of posterior fontanelle is recognized by the big Y-shaped three sutures line brachima or anterior fontanelle is recognized by diamond shape area and the presence of four suture line. Caput or molding of the head. Station of the head in relation to ischium. Spines are the most prominent bony projection felt on internal examination. The level of ischia spines is the halfway between the pelvis inlet and outlet. This level is convex. Station 0. The levels above and below the spines are divided into fifths to represent centimeters. The station is said to be O if the presenting part is at the level of the spines. The station is stated in minus fingers if it is above the spines. Minus 1 centimeter, minus 2 centimeter, minus 3 centimeter, minus 4 centimeter, and minus 5 centimeter. And in pulse fingers it is below the spines. Plus 1 centimeter, plus 2 centimeter, plus 3 centimeter, plus 4 centimeter, plus 5 centimeter. Stational of head. Floating, engaged, crow wing. Station. Management of the first stage. Principles. Principles. Non-interference with watchful expectancy so as to prepare the patient for natural birth, to monitor carefully the progress of labor, maternal condition, and fetal behavior so as to detect any intrapartum complication early. Preliminaries. This consists of basic evaluation of the current clinical condition. Inquiry is to be made about the onset of labor, pains, or leakage of liquor, if any, through general and obstetrical examination, including vaginal examination, are to be carried out and recorded. Record of antenatal visit, investigation report, and any specific treatment given, if available, are to be reviewed. Actual management. General antiseptic dressing, encouragement, emotional support, and assurance are given to keep up the moral. Constant supervision is ensured. Bowel rest and ambulation, diet, bladder care, relief of pain. Common analgesic drug usage is pethidine 50 to 100 mg intramuscularly when the pain is well established in the active phase of labor. If necessary, it is repeated after 4 hours. Pethidine is an effective analgesic as well as a sedative. Metoclopramide 10 mg IM is commonly given to combat vomiting due to pethidine. Pethidine crosses the placenta and is a respiratory depressant to the neonate. The drug should not be given if delivery is anticipated within 2 hours. Assessment of progress of labor and photograph recording, abdominal palpation, uterine contraction, and regard the frequency, intensity, and duration are assessed. Pelvis grip, shifting of the maximal intensity of the fetal heartbeat downward and medially to note the fetal well-being. Fetal heart rate along with its rhythm and intensity should be noted every half hours in the first stage and every 15 minutes in second stage of following rupture of the membrane. Normal fetal heart rate ranges from 110 to 150 per minute. To watch the maternal condition, routine checkup include 2 second to hourly pulse, blood pressure and temperature. To observation the tongue periodically for hydration, to note the urine output and IV fluid drugs. Management of the second stage. The transition from the first stage to the second stage in evidenced by the following features: increasing intensity of uterine contraction, barrier down efforts, org to push or defecate with descent of the presenting part, completed dilatation of the cervix. Yes, evidence on vaginal examination. Principle: to assist in the natural expulsion of the fetus, swallowing and steadily, to prevent perineal injuries. General measures: the patient should be in bed. Consent and supervision is mandatory, and the FHR is recorded at every 5 minutes. Vaginal examination is done at the beginning of the second stage, not only to confirm its onset but to detect any accidental cord prolapse. The position and the station of the head are once more to be reviewed, and the progressive descent of the head in ensured. Preparation for delivery. Position of the woman during delivery may be lateral, squatting or partial sitting 45-degree, dorsal position within 15-degree left lateral till is commonly favored. Yes, it avoid orthocaval compression and facilitate pushing effort. The nurse scrub up the off and put on sterilized gown, mask and gloves, and hand on the right side of the table, toileting the external genitalia and inner side of the things in done with cotton swab soaked in Savlon or Dettol solution. On sterilized sheet is placed beneath the buttocks of the patient and on over the abdomen. Essential aseptic procedure are remembered. Yes, 3Cs: clean hand, clean surface and clean cutting and ligaturing of the cord, to catheterize the bladder if it is full. Conduction of delivery. The assistance required in spontaneous delivery is divided into three phases: delivery of the head, delivery of the trunk, delivery of the shoulders. Delivery of the head. The principle to be followed are to maintain flexion of the head, to prevent its yearly extension, and to regulated its so escape out of the valvular outlet. The patient is encouraged for the bearing down effort during uterine contraction. This facilitates descent of the head when the scalp is visible for about 5 centimeter in diameter. Flexion of the head is maintained during contraction. This is achieved by pushing the occiput downward and backward by using thumb and index fingers of the left and hand while pressing the perineum by the right palm with a stellate valve pad. If the patient passes stool is should be cleaned. The region is washed with antiseptic lotion. Care following delivery of the head. Immediately following delivery of the head, the mucus and blood in smooth and pharynx are to be wiped with the sterilized gauze piece on a little finger. Alternatively, mechanical or electrical soaker might be used. This simple procedure prevent the serious consequence of mucus blocking the air passage during vigorous inspiratory effort. The eyelids are then wiped with sterilized dry cotton swab. The neck is then palpated to exclude the presence of any loop of cord. Episiotomy. Operating scissors, fetal head bulging, mediolateral episiotomy, vaginal opening, midline episiotomy, anus. Prevention of perineal laceration. More attention should be paid not to the perineum but to the controlled delivery of the head. Delivery by early extension it is to be avoided. Spontaneous forcible delivery of the head is to be avoided. To deliver the head is between contraction. To perform timely episiotomy to take care during delivery of the shoulders. Yes, the wider bisacromial diameter 12 centimeter emergence out of the introitus. Delivery of the shoulders. Not to be hasty in the delivery of the shoulders. Wait for the uterine contraction to come and for the movement of restitution and external rotation of the head to occur. During the nest contraction, the anterior shoulder is born behind the symphysis. If there is daily, the head is grasped by both hands and is gently drawn posteriorly until the anterior shoulders is released from under the pubis by drawing the head in upward direction. The posterior shoulders is delivered out of the perineum. Traction on the head should be gentle to avoid excessive stretching of the neck, causing injury of the brachial place, hematoma of the neck, or fracture of the clavicle.